Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. And let's start off today's show by reminding you to join us here on talkinfight.com tomorrow, Friday, October 27th, when we live stream from Nairobi, a big fight headlined. Let me just go to the actual poster so I get this correct. Zarika versus Omar and Kimario versus Chimkwapulo, and they're going to be fighting for both of them will be fighting for belts, and it's going to be a great day of fighting. It starts 11 o'clock Eastern time in the United States and Canada, and just add on wherever you are in the world, your respective number of hours, and enjoy a day of fighting or an evening of fighting live from Kenya. It's going to be a great fight. We're all looking forward to it. All right, on to some more news. Keyshawn Davis is now going to fight Jose Pedraza on December 9th in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Courtesy of our friends at BoxingNews24.com. Written by Brian Weber. He says lightweight prospect Keyshawn Davis is getting his wish, facing Jose Pedraza in a 10-round clash on December 9th on the undercard of the WBO featherweight champion Roby Ramirez versus Rafael Espinoza. This is a top-ranked promoted card out of, as I said, Pembroke Pines, and it's a risky fight for the 24-year-old Keyshawn, who's 10-0, 6 knockouts, by the way, as he looked something awful earlier this month against Nahir Albright, getting staggered by him and almost losing in a 10-round affair. It's fair to say that Keyshawn should win this fight handily, as the 34-year-old Pedraza has lost 2 out of his last 3 fights since last year and has not looked good like the fighter he once was since 2016. So good luck to Keyshawn, but let's have a quick look at Pedraza. Pedraza made a mistake, continues this writer, with his career by moving up to 140 shortly after his loss to Vasily Lomachenko at 135 back in 2018. Sniper Pedraza must have thought that moving up to light welterweight would be the answer to his problems, but that just made things worse for him because since his move up in weight, he's lost 3 times to these fighters: Jose Zepeda, Jose Ramirez, and Arnold Barbosa Jr. Pedraza should have moved back down in weight to 135 after his loss to Zepeda in 2019. If he had turned into the lightweight or super featherweight divisions, he could have saved himself some losses. Anyway, there you go. Bit of news coming out of Top Rank. That brings us to Jaime Munguia, a story out of boxing247.com about Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. It's in the works for May of 2024. So this will be interesting. Jaime Munguia is being discussed, says Will Aarons, as the next opponent for undisputed super middleweight champ Canelo Alvarez. The plan is for Alvarez to defend against Munguia, 42-0, by the way, 33 knockouts in May, and David Benavidez in September. Fans will be excited at seeing Canelo fight Benavidez next year, but they'll be less eager to see him face Munguia, who has done nothing to earn this matchup. If Canelo throws Munguia a bone by fighting him, he'd be sending a message to promoters that if they want to match their fighters against weak opposition long enough, they'll get a massive payday fight like Jaime. It encourages promoters to keep putting fighters against poor opposition because they'll be rewarded one of these days with a massive payday. Canelo has 2 remaining fights on his 3-fight contract with Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, although Showtime will no longer be broadcasting boxing events after 2023. They still have 2 fights that they'll be contracted with Canelo in 2024 before they're completely done. Salvador Rodriguez of ESPN Knockout is reporting the plans for Canelo to potentially face Munguia and Benavidez next. Munguia has a fight planned again against John the Gorilla Ryder in January that he needs to get out of the way before he can challenge Canelo for his undisputed 168-pound championship in May. For Canelo to fight Munguia next May suggests he doesn't care what the public thinks about him, and he'll not be interested in giving people a good fight against Dimitri Bivol, Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, or David Morrell in that month. Perhaps Canelo was saving Crawford, Bivol, Morrell for later. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a quick look at Amanda Serrano. It's going to be a good fight coming up. When Amanda Serrano, courtesy of ESPN, says her trainer and manager, Jordan Maldonado, started formulating their plan for Serrano's upcoming fight, one that will make history on Friday night. That's in 24 hours, I guess. They understood that despite all the training and experience the undisputed featherweight champ has amassed in Hall of Fame career, preparations for this bout would need to be a little bit different. This type of fight is one she'd considered for a while, a bout where she knows she can make a difference. On Friday, when Serrano puts her IBF, WBO, and WBA titles on the line against Danila Ramos, the bout will be scheduled for 12 3-minute rounds, the same as a men's championship fight. As she enters the later stages of her career, Serrano wants to push the sport forward. She's already been one half of the biggest fight in women's boxing history against undisputed lightweight champ Katie Taylor last year, and she's helped push for better pay for elite female fighters with a 7-figure payday for that Taylor fight. So this fight on Friday offers a chance to expand on what Serrano has already done and a chance for true ring equality in women's boxing. Said Top Rank's Bob Arum, "If I could get 3-minute rounds, I would sign a number of women." Mayweather Promotions CEO Leonard Ellerby agreed. He told ESPN in 2021 he believed 3-minute rounds offer more opportunities for excitement and could create another way to increase popularity within the sport. Longer rounds could lead to more knockouts and more strategy, which could lead to potentially bigger paydays. That's what Serrano wants to accomplish, the aspiration. Now, she and Ramos just have to prepare properly. It's a little different, Maldonado said, but we'd welcome it. It's a new adventure. It's almost like starting all over again. Let's have a quick preview here, courtesy of the Bleacher Report regarding Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Let's have a quick look at some predictions. This big fight going on in Saudi Arabia. We're all looking forward to it, as well as those heavyweight battles on the undercard. Let's see now. Entertainment, says Tyson Fury. Okay, all right. Let's look at, though, if Ngannou can spoil that fairy tale. Let's see. First writer, let's see. Don't know who's writing this one. But as I say, you can go to bleacherreport.com for this. "I can't pretend I'm not rooting for Ngannou in this strange but undeniably appealing crossover showdown. He has an unfathomably difficult life. He underwent a harsh journey from Cameroon to Spain. He spent time in a Spanish prison as a result of his journey to Europe. He lived on the streets of Paris. In spite of all that, he's already achieved more than most MMA fighters could ever dream of, being the likes of Alistair, a whole bunch of guys, en route to winning the UFC heavyweight title. To see him take things even further by beating one of the greatest boxers of a generation in his boxing debut, it would be one of the most epic sporting feats in modern history, and that's not hyperbole. I want to believe it's possible. I really, really want to believe. But how can you possibly pick Ngannou over Fury, who will be younger, taller, longer, faster, more experienced, and levels better at boxing when they step into the ring together this Saturday? It just can't be done with a straight face. Yes, Ngannou has a ton of punching power. The 37-year-old could punch the planet out of orbit. That's a great line. Could punch a planet out of orbit. And all it will take for him to shock the world is one good punch. But landing that punch against Fury, who's 35 years old, moves as well as any heavyweight I've ever seen. It's going to be incredibly difficult, and more so as the fight goes on. And as I said, this is on the Bleacher Report, written by Tom Taylor. He's picking Fury by technical knockout in round number 5. But he says, "I'll give Ngannou a minuscule chance of blowing Fury away in a wild exchange in the opening seconds of this fight. But I'm sure not betting on it. My guess is Fury plays the matador for a few rounds, at worst catching a few shots on the shoulders and arms, and then takes over when Ngannou slows down, which may not take long. From there, it's just a question of how long he wants to play with his food." Oh, a couple of great lines. Good story out of the Bleacher Report. All right, sports fans, that's it for today. Thanks very much for joining me here on Talkin Fight. Appreciate it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see you later on. I want to join Mike at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Time for his show Knuckle Up. And then tomorrow, as I said, the big day when Talkin Fight broadcasts live around the world on its channel. And the big fight out of Kenya, out of Nairobi. It's going to be a great battle, and I look forward to seeing you then. Adios.